All right, today we are going to dive into something that feels a little bit like, well, like modern-day alchemy. We're going to talk about how we take all the meaningless noise, all the data that's out there, and somehow turn it into the gold of real, actual knowledge. And the secret ingredient? It's something we all have, our own judgment.
So, let me ask you something. What's the real difference between just seeing something happen, say 1,000 times, and actually truly understanding it? At what point does that mindless repetition click over and suddenly mean something? That's the big question we're digging into today.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Think about the raw material we're working with here. Every single day, we are just drowning in a sea of raw data. An online store sees thousands of sales. Stock prices tick up, they tick down. Customers click on the same links over and over. It's just this endless, kind of overwhelming stream of stuff happening. But here's the thing, and this is absolutely crucial. Just because something happens a lot, that doesn't automatically give it meaning. A dripping faucet is repetition, right? But it's not some deep pattern. It just tells you, hey, you probably need a plumber. Same for that online store. Seeing 1,000 sales of one product, that's just repetition. It's basically noise until something else comes into play.
And this really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got simple repetition. It's mindless, it's noisy, it has zero context. But on the other side, you have a real pattern. And a pattern is something that's been verified, it has context, and it's actually meaningful. So, what's the bridge? How do you get from that noisy repetition to a meaningful pattern?
Well, this is where that secret ingredient comes in. We call it the human catalyst. This is the alchemical agent, the thing that takes that raw, kind of worthless, lead-like data of repetition and starts the process of turning it into the gold of real insight.
And that catalyst has a name: human judgment. And listen, it's not a passive thing. It's an active ability. It's our power to look at all that raw info, recognize something that might be important, and then, this is key, verify that it's real and not just some random fluke. And then we give it the context that unlocks its true meaning.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Without human judgment, it's just repetition. That's it. A computer can spot 1 million repetitions in a sea of data, no problem. But it takes a human to look at them and decide if any of it actually matters. That's the spark.
So how does this so-called alchemy actually work? I mean, what are the steps? Because it's not magic, right? It's a series of really deliberate actions. Let's break down that process. Exactly. This isn't about waving a magic wand and yelling abracadabra. This is the hard work. This is thinking, it's analyzing, it's making a call. It takes real effort and expertise to sift through all that noise and find something real. So the whole process really breaks down into 3 key steps. First up, you've got spotting the signal. So for our online store example, this is maybe an analyst noticing, that's weird. Customers who buy product A also seem to be buying product C a lot. Step 2 is correcting the noise. This is where that same analyst digs in. They check the data over 6 months, they filter out things like holiday sales or special promotions just to make sure it's a real consistent behavior and not a fluke. And finally, step 3, assigning intent. This is the aha moment. They realize, product A is a starter kit and product C is the logical upgrade. There's a reason for the pattern. And after all that hard work, we finally get to the last stage of this whole transformation. This is where we've successfully turned that raw data into something genuinely valuable. And it follows a pretty clear formula. And here's that formula. By verifying the pattern between products A and C, we establish consistency. We know this happens reliably. That consistency then lets the store build a reliable structure, like a rule. Hey, people who buy A are probably going to want C. And from that structure, we get usable outcomes. Suddenly, they can create a bundle and save offer, or just recommend product C on the product page, and boom, more sales. The pattern is now actionable gold. And this is the real payoff. With it, patterns turn into knowledge. What was once just a meaningless list of sales is now actual usable knowledge. It's reliable, it's structured, and it's incredibly useful. The alchemy is complete. So you might be wondering, where does technology like AI fit into all this? Well, it fits in right here. Once a human has done the hard work of finding the signal and verifying that the pattern is real, then you can unleash the machines. Technology can scale that knowledge, automatically recommending product C to every single person who buys product A. You see? The human provides that critical initial insight, the machine provides the scale. And that brings us to a really important final thought.
especially right now. In a world where artificial intelligence is getting unbelievably good at spotting repetitions, on a massive, massive scale, what does that mean for us? What's our role in all of this?
Think about it. As machines get better and better at step one, spotting all those potential signals in the noise, our uniquely human ability to verify, to contextualize, and to assign meaning, that doesn't become less important. It becomes more critical than ever. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. As AI completely masters repetition, what becomes the true irreplaceable value of our judgment?